Fredrik Eklund moved back to New York City after spending the pandemic in Los Angeles with his family on Thursday's episode of $1 Million Listing New York. The 44-year-old real estate broker wasn't exactly planning to move back during the Season 9 episode, but a frustrated seller with a pricey penthouse languishing on the market made the decision for him. His client Cliff was considering dumping Fredrik and hiring a broker based in New York rather than be coastal Fredrik. "Do I stick with the same horse I've got?" Cliff said. "Do I have to make a change to new blood that is in New York?" Fredrik became upset and told him, "When I am here, I am going to get stuff done," as he argued to keep the listing. Instead of giving up, Fredrik told his client he would leverage his social media to make the sale happen. He had Cliff pose with him for a selfie with a link for the listing and predicted there was going to be an earthquake for this whole building as prepared to post on social media. Within moments, Fredrik said 9,000 people have clicked on the listing so far. He also promised that he would leverage his 1.4 million Instagram followers and start an aggressive social media campaign to sell the property. Cliff decided he would give Fredrik a 3-month extension to sell the property, but on one condition: Fredrik had to move into his apartment, live in it and promote the hell out of it on his social media. "I need to know how important it is to you to keep my listing," Cliff told him. 2 days later, Fredrik moved into the condo and started to hold private showings to brokers. The 6,000-square-foot penthouse unit was on the market for $15 million. The 2-level condo had 6 terraces, a chef kitchen, marble fireplace, and 5 bedrooms. One of the realtors during the open house commented to Fredrik that he needed to learn how to make his bed when she entered the master's suite and it didn't look perfect. "I was in a little of a hurry this morning," he told her. The brokers liked the unit, but thought the price was a little high. Fredrik revealed in his confessional that he was facing the billion-dollar question in real estate: to lower or not to lower the price. Across town, Steve Gold, 36, was focused on selling Artemis Farm, a listing in Ancramdale, New York, on the market for $3.995 million. He enlisted the help of former realtor and The Real Housewives of New York City ex-cast member Dorinda Medley, 56. Steve mentioned to Dorinda that he noticed that Rihanna had commented on her Bluestone Manor home in the Berkshires and urged Dorinda to tell the superstar about his property. "I cannot overstate the power of just one celebrity mention when it comes to real estate," Steve said to the camera. Dorinda told him of her house, "It's literally the place to be." Steve responded with one of Dorinda's catchphrases, "So you are doing well, B." Dorinda said so far and threw back to him another one of her iconic phrases, saying, "I'm making it nice." Steve said he was going to focus on getting her some cool neighbors. Later, Steve flew his partner Louisa Gałowska, 28, and his 2-year-old daughter Rose via helicopter to see the property. Driving to the Artemis Farm from New York, which was 103 miles away, would have taken them 2 hours by car, but only took them 34 minutes in the helicopter. Once at the farm that sits on 456 acres, they took Rose to see the farm animals that included a pig, guinea hens, and some horses. "It is so cute to see Rose interact with the animals," Steve said later to the camera. Steve and Bradley, one of his team members, greeted the line of cars of prospective buyers that had come to see the property. Steve said because of the pandemic that real estate in upstate New York was hotter than ever, with everyone trying to find a refuge. They had set up a farmer's market for the buyers to peruse and sample some of the local ingredients. After the buyers saw the helicopter flying away, Steve then told them that he had an important prospective buyer just come and visit the property, but that he couldn't tell them who that was. He didn't tell him that he had rented the helicopter himself for $5,000. "I need to create a buzz around Artemis Farm, and nothing says buzz like a high-profile flyover," Steve said to the camera in a confessional. "Did someone say Riri? Beyoncé?" He said he got some really good mileage out of this helicopter ride. He mentioned the helicopter landed right outside the house to various buyers and they appeared to be impressed. Show newcomer Kirsten Jordan, 37, also stopped by to view the property. Her clients, she said, were luxury buyers and wanted a turnkey property. Stephen gave Kirsten and the other buyers individual tours of the 6,000-square-foot home. Kirsten, though, wasn't impressed with the property. When she saw one of the bathrooms, she said she didn't agree with Steve's assessment that it was country chic. "It's definitely very country, not so chic," she said in a confessional. Back in the city, Steve got a call from broker Rich Vizzini, known as the Wolf of Woodstock, who asked if the seller would be interested in renting it for $12,500 for 6 months paid up front. Steve told him he would present it to the buyer and told him, "Don't hold your breath, I have not even discussed rentals with Cornelia," guessed. When he told Cornelia, she was interested. "I like the idea of getting some money so I don't have to worry about it," Cornelia said. He called Rich back and told him that Cornelia was receptive to the idea, but he upped the rental price to $15,000 and added the condition that the clients would vacate the property if he was able to find a buyer. Rich said his clients agreed to the deal. Meanwhile, Tyler Whitman, 35, took time to show a property in the East Village to his client Andrea, a professor at NYU, who was looking to buy something in the $4 to $5 million range. He took her to see 289 East 2nd Street, Houston house, where they met with Talia McKinney, a real estate broker on Ryan Serhant's team that held the listing. Andrea told Tyler and Talia that she suffered from obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, and preferred to live in an apartment that did not have a prior inhabitant. Tyler and Talia showed her a first-floor duplex in the building that had 3 bedrooms and 3.5 baths and was listed at $3 million. The unit had 18-foot ceilings and top-of-the-line appliances and a private outdoor space. The master bedroom looked right onto the street, and Andrea said she would feel like she was on display. "It's tough because I get very anxious, and when it comes to where I am living, I want to be at ease," she said. Andrea also told him that it seemed gross to her to live where someone else had lived before. Tyler asked her what bothered her about that, and she said, "You just don't know, like their hair and their skin is around and they have cooked stuff. It's so gross. It's like the residue in the corners from humans." Next, Talia took them up to see the penthouse in the building, which was also listed for $3 million. Andrea seemed to like this 3-bedroom 3.5-bath unit much better, especially the view. "I like the idea of lying in bed and looking at the Empire State Building," Andrea said. Andrea, though, wasn't completely enthralled by the unit and told Tyler she wanted to see other listings. Fredrik, meanwhile, said the penthouse wasn't the only unit in the building that he was trying to sell. He also had a unit on the 8th floor and Tyler brought Andrea to see it. Tyler said he saw the apartment was on the market on Fredrik's Instagram. He said the apartment had been languishing on the market because at $6.4 million that it was grossly overpriced. Fredrik gave them a tour of the 2,661-square-foot 3-bedroom apartment with its own private 725-square-foot outdoor space. Andrea told Fredrik about her OCD and that she felt very uncomfortable living in someone else's filth. Later to the camera, Fredrik said it would be difficult to avoid germs in New York. "It is not going to be easy to avoid germs here," he said. "I love New York but germs are kind of part of it." When Andrea went inside to take another look at the apartment, Tyler and Fredrik stayed on the terrace to talk shop. Tyler tried to assuage Fredrik's expectation and told him his client was likely to make an offer but that her bid would probably seem lowball to Fredrik. He reminded Fredrik that there was a lot of unsold property in New York and asked him how much inventory Fredrik was sitting on. The Real Deal wrote an article today saying that I have $907 million worth of active listings, Fredrik said. Twice the amount of Ryan Serhant. "Right," Tyler said. "That's what they said," Fredrik responded. "Hey, it only counts if it sells," Tyler said. He said later in a confessional that he had learned that the more bragging someone does the more insecure they are. Tyler tried to tell Fredrik the apartment was overpriced and Fredrik told him to just give him an offer. "I'm not going to negotiate without an offer," Fredrik told him. Tyler said to the camera that Fredrik had spent too much time in Los Angeles and had lost his mind if he thought he was going to get $6.5 million for this apartment. Later, Fredrik met up with Keith from his team to discuss the one-property 11th Street. Luke's place that he said has been a thorn in my side for a while. The 6,800-square-foot trophy property was listed for $28,750,000, but they settled on a rental agreement with an option to buy for $24 million. "It feels amazing to be back in New York and like that," Fredrik said after securing the huge deal that could earn him a commission of $720,000. $1 million listing. New York will return next Thursday on Bravo.